Switching gears, talking about a monopoly to set up talking about the court case Gibbons v. Ogden. What is a monopoly? A monopoly, or a trust, same thing, is when you own all of one good. You control all of one product. And when you control all of one product, you then can control price. You can control quality too. This hurts consumers. Consumers don't have choice. Consumers have to pay the price that you want. When you own all of a good, let's give you an example, a theoretical. You're in the mall. Oh, look at all these options, all these different restaurants competing against each other. Pizza Hut, Subway. What's a mall again? Some of you probably watching this, you're like, what's a mall? Do those still exist? Yeah, I don't know anymore. But anyway, that's the theory. The first theoretical situation is there's this thing called malls. Second thing, in this thing called malls, there are restaurants competing against each other. Competing based on price. Subway, Pizza Hut, maybe they lower prices to lure you in. Maybe they offer better ingredients. Either way, in this scenario, there is no choice. It's a monopoly. Subway has a monopoly on food service in the mall. If you want food, you got to go to Subway. There are no other choices. You have one option. And when you have one option, this monopoly, before, when there was competition against Pizza Hut and there was competition against ice cream, they had to lower the prices to lure you in. They had to offer a bunch of different sandwiches to lure you in. But now that there's no competition and they have a monopoly, you pay their price. There is no competition. Restaurants battling each other by lowering the prices. Restaurants offering different items by lowering the prices. No, today and forever now, because of the monopoly, it's chicken, bacon, ranch only. We don't have to offer a wide variety of sandwich choices to lure you in because you have no other option. And we don't have to lower our prices. Oh, you don't want to pay $6? Then starve. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, you wanted a bologna sandwich. Who wants a bologna sandwich? I guess you wanted a bologna. Too bad, no bologna. It's chicken, bacon, ranch. And you'll love it. And if it's got a rat on it, who cares? You got no other options. That's how monopolies work. The government does not like monopolies. The government wants people to compete. Well, why does the government? Because the government is the people. We, the people. And the people want options. We want choices. We want lower prices. We want quality. That only happens when you have competition. So we got to stop monopolies. And one of the ways the government can do that is help businesses out. Help businesses that are struggling. Help them get off the ground so they compete against each other. And when the businesses compete, it lowers prices and it offers quality. Also, they can just straight up shut down a monopoly. So let's get rid of the monopoly. Let's return to the good old times where we got this sandwich shop. You got the Tripe Sandwich Shop by Baxter, and then you've got Eisenberg's, and they're all competing against each other to lure you in as the customer. They want you to come to their restaurant, and so they lower prices. They offer a wide variety of sandwiches. BLT's back, Black Forest ham, cold cut combo, egg and cheese, omelet, veggie, delight, spicy Italian, meatball marinara. We the people want meatball marinara. This happens when the government gets involved in the economy. If the government doesn't get involved in the economy, you have monopolies, which eliminate competition, which raise prices. Now, there's an argument that could be made that you can have competition without government involvement, but this is one example. Let's defend the government a little bit here. We're going to need that government now. Gibbons versus Ogden. Ogden is granted a monopoly of the New York waterways. If you want to ship your goods into New York, the state of New York has given him a monopoly. Well, they call it a permit. Well, we just gave him a permit saying he can control the waterways. You gave him a monopoly of the New York waterways. The New York waterways, if you want to ship goods in or out, you have to talk to Ogden. Well, Ogden charges too much. Doesn't matter. It's his waterway. Well, Ogden's slow. Isn't there another way? Too bad. It's his own waterway. The New York government gave him a monopoly. Just like Subway was the only place in the mall. You had to pay their price, and you only got to get the sandwiches they want. I wanted bologna. Well, this really happened. This was Ogden had this. So he will be sued by Gibbons, who used to work with him. Now, Gibbons is like, this is ridiculous. Ogden takes 3 days. If you let me start shipping stuff, I can get it there faster, and I can get it there at a lower price. And maybe some other ships can get in. We got a bunch of different shipping companies competing, which will lower prices for consumers and will make it faster for consumers. New York gave me the exclusive right to these waterways, says Ogden. These here waterways are mine. Well, New York can't do that. It is an interstate waterway, says Gibbons. It's an interstate waterway. And since it's interstate, it's up to the U.S. government to make that law. So it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court looks at it and says, yeah, that's right. This is interstate commerce, meaning between states. And that power, according to the Constitution, is reserved for Congress, and it's in the Commerce Clause. The Commerce Clause of the Constitution says when it comes to interstate business, only those laws can be made by the Constitution. So look, let's call them out on it. Supreme Court knows the Constitution, though. Commerce Clause refers to Article 1, Section 8. It's always Article 1, Section 8. Any trivia question, what part of the Article 1, Section 8? Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution says the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among several states is for Congress. So these waterways, all the laws dealing with the New York waterways, those laws have to be made by Congress. It's their power. The Constitution gave that power to Congress, not the individual states. Therefore, interstate navigation fell under the federal government. New York could not interfere. This is not New York's power. They cannot give these permits. And so, boom, Ogden's permit is invalid. It's thrown away. He no longer has a monopoly. Anyone can ship goods in and out. This is government involvement in the economy. Government getting involved in business decisions, also reviewing the Constitution to help out the people. Now, they didn't do this like we want to help the people. The Supreme Court did this because this was the law. But it did help.